Our final awardee, Fernando Cárdenas, is the Director of Partnership Development and Community Activation at Comcast. Fernando spearheaded the dissemination of the Jurassic World Rule Your Future STEAM curriculum, which is now used by more than 3,000 students nationwide. He participated in the Upward Bound program at Fresno State University. Please join me in welcoming Fernando to the podium.
I have an impossible task, as you can just see. But good evening, everyone. I'm sure some of you are wondering what I'm doing up here with a former college president, a former clerk of the House, a CEO, and a leading education expert. You may be asking, who does this guy know? I honestly know about 90% of people in this room. So it's who you know. And I will try and be my best, as my former boss, mentor, and trio leader, the great Colonel Alvin Phillips, told me on my first day in Washington, D.C., be brief, be bright, and be gone, because ain't nobody got time for you. So to the honorees here, it is such a pleasure to share the stage with all of you tonight. I really can't believe I get the privilege to win this award with you this year. To Marge, Trinity, Christina, and my Comcast family, thank you for being here tonight, for giving me the tools and support to drive digital equity forward for our communities across the country. To Dr. Mitchum, Maureen, Alan, Kim, I thank you for your vision, leadership, determination to unite and lead the TRIO movement that really gave me the tools to leave poverty. To Ben and Norma, thank you for being the best TRIO counselors any kid could have asked for. To Sergio, who's sitting right there, thank you for sending an email that ultimately changed my life and landed me an internship in this great city. And to my Westop family, thank you for the unrelentless support I got as this crazy kid from Fresno left to really go out after his dreams. To all of my TRIO friends and family, I have a lot. Thank you for believing in kids like me. It is not lost in me the sweat, tears, advocacy, marches, and the countless walks on Capitol Hill you have done that have allowed me to get to this very stage. And finally, a very special thank you to my family, my amazing sisters back home, and the two most important people in this room for me tonight, my parents. This is actually their very first experience of me as a working adult. And they've never understood what I've done, but I think working at Comcast, it's gotten easier, because eventually I give up and I just say Telemundo. But I can't think of a better way to introduce them into my life than to bring them to a dinner with 2,000 people with too many forks and knives. But all jokes aside, I really want to thank my parents for being the best that they could be, and for really getting over their biggest fear, which was to let me leave the nest and to explore my journey. So, papá y mamá, estoy tan agradecido que me hayan acompañado esta noche. No saben el orgullo que siento en poder celebrar este reconocimiento con ustedes. Gracias por el apoyo, la sabiduría, el ejemplo y hasta las regañadas que me han ayudado a crecer y a encontrar mi propia voz. Este premio que recibo hoy no es para mí, sino para ustedes. Es un trofeo que celebra su trabajo, su esfuerzo y su sacrificio que tuvieron para que nuestra familia pudiera lograr el sueño americano. Y hasta les doy permiso que lo suban al Facebook. So for some of you that was a little Spanish too, you're welcome. So most of you know my story, so I won't tell you my Eat True Hollywood journey. But as you know, I come from immigrant parents who came to California to work the fields. So if you've ever enjoyed an almond or have almond milk, chances are they touched it for you, okay? And it's in California where I had one of the most vivid memories in my life that really changed the trajectory of what I wanted to do, and where I knew that I had to go to school to get a better life. One day my mom had come home from working the fields and she went to the sink to wash her hands. And she kept washing her hands over and over and over. Eventually, I went to the sink to what I saw was that her hands were so calloused, she had a deep wound in her hand, and she was washing the dirt from her hand. She probably doesn't remember this, but she looked at me as I was a kid, smiling as she washed the dirt from her hand. And all I could think about was how I needed to make sure that my family never had that moving forward. So what did I do? I put myself to school. I got the best grades, and let me tell you, those were some good grades. And I knew I wanted to go to college, but I would have never made that a reality if it wasn't for the TRIO Upward Bound program at Fresno State. They really saw me for who I was, a kid with rosy cheeks, with too much attitude and a hunger for more. They helped me get my life together, they empowered me, they challenged me, and most importantly, they kept me safe while I navigated the unknown world of a higher class system. TRIO was my biggest tool, my secret weapon, from tutoring, leadership seminars, financial aid, but the most important thing that TRIO did for me was it helped me discover my power, my self-worth, and my value. And I have one small story that I think is very funny now, but it made such a huge difference for me when I was a kid. It was summer program, and y'all know how you do. Sunrise to sundown, the schedule was packed. And I talked to my counselor and my director about having nap time. And she told me if I had the petition signed by 80% of the class, she would consider it. So I got 100% of folks to sign it. And then she took me to court. Well, mock court. So I presented my case, and she was tougher than Judge Judy. But after 2 hours, multiple witnesses, the verdict was in, and nap time was added to the agenda. So to all the kids that followed me, you're welcome for that nap time. It was me. TRIO also introduced me to the University of California that I would end up attending. College was very, very difficult for me. It took me 6 years. I went to 3 community colleges to eventually get that piece of paper, all while fighting depression, sleeping on a floor, having over 25 roommates, and at the end of my college career, I actually survived a school shooting that left 7 of my classmates dead. And it was very difficult, and when I was ready to get that piece of paper, someone told me no. There was an administrative error that was placed on my account, and they would not let me graduate. But if TRIO taught me anything, it was that I was my biggest advocate, and that I wanted to make that right. So I called everybody on that campus until they eventually granted my degree. And I became the very first person on both sides of my family to get a college degree when each of my parents have 10 siblings, and I have more than 40 first cousins. TRIO and that degree really changed my life. Since then, I've had the opportunity to help connect Americans to the internet at home. My team has been responsible for connecting over 10 million Americans to the power of the internet at home. As mentioned, I made my dreams come true. I launched a massive program with Jurassic World Dominion. I got it approved by Steven Spielberg. Never in a million years did I think I would do that. But the most important thing about the work that I get to do every day is the faces that I see when I get to see that they now have a computer, that they can now talk to their family overseas. And when I say that I did this, I don't mean me, I mean you. I mean all of you in TRIO have really done this through the investment that you had in me many, many years ago. And it's really hard for me to try and conceptualize what you mean to me and the impact, the profound impact that TRIO has had on me. But you know, I'm going to give it a try, and I may get a little poetic on you. So I want to share with you, I want to take you on a journey of my adventures, my experiences, and my firsts that help describe TRIO. TRIO smells like the intoxicating aroma of hot mofongo coming to your table in Viejo San Juan. It tastes like pepperoni rolls at a biker bar in Charleston, West Virginia. It looks like the painting that is Vermont in October. It sounds like the peaceful waves crashing on the beaches of Guam. And it feels like the very best karaoke night ever in Reno, Nevada. But mostly it feels like floor seats at a Beyonce Renaissance tour. TRIO is knowing that I have a tomorrow that will be better than today. It is the journey of self-discovery, of understanding my power, my worth, and my talent. Not because someone gave it to me, but because someone finally showed me it was always there. Simply put, TRIO is freedom. And as I start to close, I see Dr. Mitchum in the room, and I also see members of Congress, so I think I need to do right by him to talk about how important TRIO is and to talk about the money, because it's always about the money. So you're not supposed to get political at these things or talk about money, but when I was a student in TRIO, it took $10,000 to help me graduate high school, get into college, and successfully graduate. Since I have been working, I have estimated I have paid more than $300,000 back in federal taxes. If I take those $300,000, invest them back into TRIO today, I get to help 40 additional students complete their dreams. If those students go on and work the same amount of years that I've been working, and it's been a hot minute, that means that they will have a collective impact of $12 million. Think about that, yes, $12 million. So to all the members of Congress in the room and their staff, and to all of the advocates, you have an opportunity to make a change for our country. I hope that the stories of my friends up here and mine, and the stories of the 6 million TRIO graduates are enough proof for you to sign on the dotted line when it comes to increase support for TRIO. Because your signature holds so much power to economic mobility and economic freedom for millions of students and their families across the country. And let me tell you something that I know so deep in my soul, and that's the American dream is alive and well. My parents, those folks sitting in table 18, they are the American dream, and I am that dream come true. Thank you.